What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. This week, the big news that's going on that everyone seems to be talking about here lately is the new Wonder Woman 1984 movie. Now, I went ahead and watched this movie like a day after it came out or whatever, just to check it out. I liked the first one. The first movie was pretty good. Wasn't too bad. It was decent. It wasn't like spectacular, but it wasn't bad at all either. This one though, oh my gosh. There is so much cringe in this movie. I have no idea what the writer and the director were thinking about when they did this movie, or even why DC let them do this to their character. But they literally shit all over this character in this movie, and it really pisses me off because I like Wonder Woman. The character is really great, and I don't know why they let them shit all over him, but they did. But that's what you get when you get some hack SJW writers writing crap. But anyway, so we start off with her in whatever, Mysteria or wherever it is that she's from, the Amazon world, island, whatever. She's young. She's like 12 years old or whatever. And she's going through a competition, obstacle course, with women who are far more older than she is. Yet she whips all their ass. Now, granted, she is a god. It's a child, but still a god. So I could let that slide. And she's only 12 and they're all adults, and she's whipping their ass for that reason. Anyways, there's a moral at the very beginning of this movie. You know, she, even though she gets knocked off her horse and she misses one of the tags that you're supposed to tag before you get to, you have to tag all these tags or markers before you can make it to the end. Well, she skips one, but she beats everyone else to the end, and then she's grabbed and told, you can't do that, you're cheating, and you can't get anywhere from stealing or cheating in life, blah blah blah. You can't always get what you want. So that's the moral compass to start off of the movie, and it comes into play later on. It's dumb because it's actually a lie, because we all know that a lot of the times in real life, cheating and stealing tends to get you pretty far. Taking what you want, it usually goes pretty far. You know, to certain individuals, they can get away with it. It happens. I mean, just look at this election, you know, how it was stolen, right? Anyways, moving on. The next thing that really kind of goes crazy was, which I didn't really think it was all that crazy, but we've done the whole, you know, possession ghost story where, you know, someone possesses somebody else's body for a little while. That happened, you know, because her boyfriend comes back and he possesses this dude, and instantly she's in love with this guy, you know, because it's supposed to be her boyfriend. Now, instead of seeing the guy most of the time, you of course see Chris Pine as her boyfriend. So it was a little misleading, but at the same time you get the idea. Everyone's seen this kind of thing in movies before. It's happened many, many times. So I didn't even think anything of it. Some people consider like she raped this guy or whatever. I don't know about that, but it was, I get it to a point, but I don't know. I've seen it before, so it didn't really bother me all that much. I just thought it was kind of a lame story writing on the writer's part. Anyways, moving on. Perhaps the most cringiest thing in this movie was when she's flying. Now, granted, Wonder Woman could fly back when they did Crisis on Infinite Earths series. They did a series called Crisis on Infinite Earths back in mid-80s. It was 85 that the first issue came out. Now, they made it to where Hermes, the God's creator from basically a clay model, and Hermes supposedly endowed her with the power of flight so she could fly. But it was only for a short run. She went back to not being able to fly. So she's never been able to fly except for a short extended period in the DC comic universe. And the only reason why it was just a short run to explain a different version of Wonder Woman. The whole multiverse crap, which I do not like them mixing multi-universe crap in with the OG. It really irritates me. Keep it separate. They're cool concepts, but the original is the original, and the original Wonder Woman does not fly, period. Now granted, she can jump or leap and even glide short distances, but she cannot fly, period. Now later on, when they did the new 52s, they also made it to where Hermes scratched her with a feather or some crap like that, and she was able to fly for a short period of time. But again, that didn't last either. So even though she has been granted the power of flight a couple of times, she really does not fly. She doesn't fly. That's the point of having an invisible jet. If she didn't have the invisible jet, what's the point? I mean, what's the point of her flying if she's got an invisible jet? That makes no sense. Period. Do you understand? She does not fly. So, that right there, there's a part in the movie where she's flying and she's doing the whole Superman pose, and then she's flying on her back like this, like Superman did in his movies. And I'm just like, that's so fucking retarded. It's so dumb. These female writers and shit, they steal from male movies and shit like that all the time, and they want to be independent and crap. Well, make your own shit up. Stop freaking stealing and borrowing from male superheroes and shit. Stop. You're an idiot. Anyways, that was the cringiest part in the whole freaking movie. Now, I can kind of get behind her using a lasso and doing the whole Tarzan thing. It kind of reminds you almost of Spider-Man, to be honest. But her grabbing, clouds and lightning and even a plane that's literally thousands of feet in the air from the ground, that's a little bit, you're stretching it quite a bit with all that kind of shit. That's a little bit That's super, super cheese and is really unrealistic and unbelievable. I don't care if it's science fiction or not. You're really pushing the boundaries with that lassoing and Tarzan crap, you know. I mean, for buildings and shit, I'm okay with. But lightning, clouds, and planes that are thousands of feet in the air, I don't buy. Sorry, that's a little too much. But like I said, she can leap and glide short distances. That's okay. But she cannot fly. The other thing that got me was the whole cheetah scene. You see her fully decked out as Cheetah, Kristen Wiig, for like 5 minutes. The whole scene is her fighting Diana, or Wonder Woman. But Wonder Woman's wearing that stupid angel-looking gold suit. And Cheetah's tearing it up while she's just standing there letting her beat on her with it. And then all of a sudden she tosses the gold suit. Knocks her in the water and shocks the piss out of her, and that's the end of the fight. So you get a little wet cat scene where she doesn't even look anything like the character Cheetah. She's just all black and white with red eyes. Does not look like Cheetah whatsoever. So that really was annoying and irritating. She should have been fighting Circe. Period. Circe is her main arch nemesis. The hardest villain she ever has fought. She's a pain in the ass to Wonder Woman. Circe has nearly beaten her several times. Yeah, I mean, it's come really close. So I thought it was weird that they chose Cheetah and this Lord Maxwell dude as her main villains. The Lord Maxwell character was just dumb. It was stupid. Him becoming the wishing stone and shit, just, it was retarded, man. And then my whole point of the moral compass thing at the very beginning of the movie, it comes into play when she has to defeat Lord Maxwell. She basically tells the world through satellites, you know, that are in a leak together so everybody can hear on satellite, that she uses the lasso of truth to do it and says, you know, blah blah blah, you know, take back your wishes because they're not real. Yeah, you can't have everything you want. Blah blah, you can't steal and cheat. Yeah, you know, just dumb shit because it's all bullshit. So, anyways, and then that's pretty much the end of the movie. The worst part, also another bad part of the movie, was the very end, after the credits and scene and everything, where they show Linda Blair. She was supposedly called the Mysteria Woman or whatever, who wore the gold suit to save the Amazons. Oh, you know, instead of calling her the original Wonder Woman, you know, kind of thing. But anyway, that was cringe too. It really irked me that they did her that way as well. It was a terrible cameo. Overall, this movie was a hot mess. It was garbage. They shit all over the character. The writing was horrible. It was just terrible. Terrible movie. Really disappointing. The action scenes, there really wasn't hardly any action, unless you call the really super cheesy mall scene at the very beginning of the movie an action scene. It was so cheesy. It was worse than 80s cheese. I mean, it was bad. And I like some 80s cheesy movies, but this was just beyond cheese. It was disgusting. I almost couldn't watch the mall scene. It was so cheesy bad. Anyways, This movie was absolutely terrible. Don't waste your money on this fucking movie. I don't waste my money on these movies. Never have, never will. I'm not paying these these Hollywood bigots when they can't even write decent movies. Can't even go to the theater anymore. The mass cult is taking it over. Anyways, that's my review on Wonder Woman 1984. Absolutely terrible, disappointing, sad. Don't waste your money. You're not missing anything. Wait till it comes out on video or something if you really want to see it. To those who actually like this movie, more power to you, but I'm telling you, I don't know why you would like this crap. It's bad. Anyways, that's all I have to say on that. Let's move on to your B-movie reviews. Alright, movie holics, let's get on to your B-movie reviews. This week, keeping up with traditional holiday spirit, this is Horror Week. And to find some Christmas horror flicks, I went with both Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and Part 2. Now there's like 6 of these. I just did the first 2, keeping up with holiday tradition. The first one was done in 1984, and it roughly made about 2.5 million worldwide. It has since become a cult classic. It starred Robert Brian Wilson. He's the one who played Billy, or you know, the crazy Santa. Then you got Lillian Chavin. She is the one who played Mother Superior. And then you have Gilmer McCormick, and she's the one who played Mother Teresa. I think it's Teresa or something like that. I can't remember what her character's name was. But she was the one who was always trying to help Billy. The first movie, I love the first movie. The first movie was great. It was, it's really cheesy, but not too bad cheesy. But it was a good '80s cheese flick. It was hilarious. It was funny as hell. I loved it because he's literally going around constantly going naughty, or punish, you know, and you know someone's getting ready to get killed every time he screams that. Basically, the story is Billy and his little brother, Richard or Ricky or whatever you want to call him. He's a baby at the time. There's a Santa Claus who's kind of on a killing spree, and he ends up pulling over his parents, car trouble or whatever, and he ends up killing him. And Billy ends up witnessing it, and his brother Ricky's left in the car as a baby. The guy who was the Santa Claus, he takes off, and leaves him there to die after he kills his parents. You fast forward, you move to where Billy's like, I think he's like 10 years old or something like that. 8 to 10, somewhere around there. Both him and Ricky are at an orphanage. Uh, you have a female character named Mother Superior who's actually kind of mean. She's pretty mean to Billy. She's really nice to Richard, but she's really mean to Billy. She's constantly getting on to him, and I don't know, it's like she takes out her anger out on him. She's a mean old hag. Anyway, then you fast forward again until he turns 18. When he turns 18, he's given a job at a toy store. He basically, he likes this one girl in the toy store. And he ends up, they have like this Christmas Eve party where it's just, you know, there's like 6 employees or so. 6 or 7 of them. And he has this fear of Santa Claus. But the guy who owns the toy store asks him to be Santa Claus, so he's dressed up in the Santa Claus suit. There's this one funny scene during the day where he tells this little girl, you know, I punish naughty kids, blah, 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 you know. So stop squiggling and moving around and whining. The little girl stops and freezes, you know. When she's sitting on his lap, it's pretty funny. But anyway, at the Christmas Eve party, after the store is closed, he sees, you know, this girl he likes. And this guy, basically, he basically attacks her, almost kind of like rapes her, the way he's seen his mother getting raped by when he was little. So it causes him to snap. Now, he then starts killing everybody. I mean, he just goes on a killing spree, telling them they're all naughty. They're doing bad things. So he starts killing them all. He leaves, goes to another house where he catches them doing naughty things, and he kills them. But he leaves a little girl. There's a little girl there who proclaims she's nice or been good or whatever. So he leaves her alone. And it's kind of funny because he hands her like this murder weapon, which is basically a box razor knife, for a gift or whatever. It's fucked up. But anyway, it's all bloody and shit, and he gives it to her. Anyway, he takes off. He ends up killing a couple of guys that are bullying or harassing a couple of other kids who stole their sleds, ran them off. So he kills them guys, chops off this one dude's head. It's crazy. And then he goes and he heads for the orphanage. They make a mistake and they kill one guy in a Santa Claus suit that was coming to the orphanage. He was supposed to be a priest or a janitor or whatever. They killed him. The cops did. And then the cop that killed him, you know, Billy ends up showing up and killing him, telling him, you know, he's punishing him for you know, killing that dude. So he does. Kills him. And then he goes in to get Mother Superior. Now he gets inside, but just as he's getting ready to kill Mother Superior, they shoot him dead. Another cop, a lieutenant or whatever, shows up with Mother Teresa or whatever, and they shoot him dead. And that's pretty much the end of the movie, except for you see Richard turn and look at Mother Superior and give her the evil eye. You know what's coming. So that's the end of the first one. Yeah, first one, I love the first one. 2 thumbs up. It was hilarious. Good 80s cheese. You know, special effects. You know, you just have some shooting scenes and, you know, blood or whatever, a little bit of blood or whatever. The scene where he puts the girl on the antlers, Oh, I love that scene. That was actually really good. I give him props for that scene. It was really, really done well. It kind of reminded me of old Freddy Krueger's scene where he tells her it's prime time, bitch, and sticks her head in the TV. That's what it kind of reminded me of, even though this is before that movie. But it was still a good scene. So the special effects weren't bad. They were decent. I'll give them a 3, almost a 3 plus, because they were fairly decent. There was even one scene where it shoots this dude in the head, and it leaves this hole or whatever when you see him shoot it, and the blood comes out. It was really good. I thought, wow, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty decent looking. So yeah, definitely a solid 3. The acting wasn't all that bad. I didn't think it was bad as far as acting goes. Yeah, it was a little bit bad when he's like yelling naughty or punish or whatever. It was a little over the top, but it was supposed to be. So I give it a 3. The story, actually, it was a unique story. Never been done before. So for the story, I give it a 4. It was a really good story. For a slasher film, you know. Really done well. Whoever wrote this, that's pretty good. So I give it a 4. Overall, I give this 4 a -4 because it was a good cheesy horror flick slasher film from back in the 80s. It was really good. So I give it a -4. It wasn't bad, not bad at all. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. Check this out if you want some good horror cheese flick to watch. Definitely good. Now, on to part 2. Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. I didn't find any box office numbers on this, but it was done in 1987. It starred Eric Freeman, James Newman, and Elizabeth Catan. Now, James Newman is the doctor who is interviewing him, and Elizabeth is the one who played his girlfriend in the movie. Now, the first half of this movie is just him talking to the doctor about what happened in the first one. So you get a ton of flashback from the first. The first half is basically, it covers the first movie. Is basically what it does. So you see a lot of scenes from the first movie. And you see that in the credits too. They add that in the credits, everyone from the first movie. Now the second half basically shows him with his girlfriend and what happened when he was with her, how he ends up coming to kill her and going on a killing spree, killing everybody he comes across. There's one famous scene where he does this thing where he calls garbage day, where this guy picks up a trash can and he shoots him and says, "Oh, it must be garbage day." It's pretty funny. Oh, so this is even more cheesier. This was even, this one was super cheese. But still, it was still good. It was hilarious. It was funny as hell. It wasn't scary at all. And Eric Freeman actually, even though he's not really superb actor or anything, he actually did a pretty damn good job playing this character, as Richard, the little, this is supposed to be about Billy's brother, Richard. That's who Eric Freeman plays. And he's been in a psych ward for a long time. Anyways, he basically shoots a bunch of people, gets out of the psych ward after he tells the doctor all about it, kills the doctor, heads for Mother Superior's house. She's living in a home now. There's no more orphanage, or supposedly. She still takes care of kids, but he shows up there. There's this big scene where he's chasing her down, and when he busts in the door, you see the door. It says 666 for her address for Mother Superior. She lives in 666 Drive. But I just thought that was hilarious when I saw that. I was like, what the hell? I almost missed it. I almost didn't think about it, but I noticed it because they linger on the door for a little bit in this one scene. But anyway, he goes up there into her house is basically what he does. The cops figure it out and they chase him down. Well, he eventually kills her, chops off her head, and then they shoot him. He falls outside the front the front steps to the front porch. When they find Mother Superior, he'd stacked her head on her so that when they went to go touch her, her head falls off, and it freaks them out. They think he's dead, but he wakes up, and that's the end of the movie. They cut it off right there, him waking up, like he's fixing to get up. And he's grinning when he does, because he hears him scream from finding Mother Superior. But he got his revenge. You know, she got punished for being naughty. And it was her that basically told the boys, punishment is good. If you're naughty, you deserve to be punished. Punishment is good. People must learn. That's basically what she tells them in the first movie. So it was her fault that they turn out that way. Schizo, crazy. This one, even though I really liked the first movie, it really irritated me that the whole first half of this movie was nothing but the first movie retold. So that, I give a thumbs up and a thumbs down. The second half, it was overacting from Eric Freeman, but it was supposed to be that way. And honestly, he plays a good villain. I love the way he sounds when he's laughing and he's killing these people. It was like really freaky the way he sounded, killing these people, going naughty. And, and shit, it was good. He's like, oh, you deserve it, bitch. That kind of crap. I was like, holy shit. That's hilarious. But it was freaky at the same time. I was like, that's good, And I understand that there was a conflict between the writer and director. One of them that wanted him to act like that, kind of like Freddy Krueger's character, where he's joking around when he's killing him. The other one didn't want him to do it. But Eric kind of chose his own style. So that's really good. I'm glad he did. It was pretty good. Special effects, just a little bit of blood splatter and stuff like that. So, and there really wasn't a whole lot of special effects going on. So, I give it a 2 just because there really wasn't much going on with the special effects. The story overall, well, I was a little disappointed with the fact that, the first part was nothing but a retelling of the first movie. So I give it a 3. It was okay. It was decent, but that retelling kind of spoiled it. But the second half wasn't too bad. As far as overall, it was decent enough to watch. The acting was okay. I give the acting, it was supposed to be over the top and super cheesy, so I give it a 3, a -3, because it was okay. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't too bad. Eric Freeman actually did a decent job. And as far as overall, the whole story-wise, the story was decent. I give it a 3 too. It was alright for a continuation. They should have done, like I said, it should have been a full film and instead of just half of it being told as part 2. So overall, the whole movie wise, I give it a -3. It was decent. It was okay. Check it out if you want some good hard cheese 80 flick to watch. It is a cult classic as well, besides the first one. So, I give it, like I said, I give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. Only because they just retold the first movie in the first half. They shouldn't have done that. Anyways, that's all I have for you this week. If you have any thoughts about the Wonder Woman movie, leave them down in the comment section down below. If you have any suggestions of some movie gems or good movies, earlier movies that I may have missed or haven't reviewed yet, please leave your suggestions down in the comments down below, and I'll get around to them when I can. Until next time, I told you you'd be told the truth, and you just been told.